We're in the middle of the hurricane now. It's not coming as hard as what we thought it was going to. I heard some bad news that it tore through PEI in Nova Scotia. Hopefully everybody there is okay. We're probably getting about 70 to 80 kilometer gusts now. It's still not too bad though. The old greenhouse is holding up well. She's made for this. We've faced 120, so if we only get up to 120 today, I'll be satisfied knowing that the greenhouse is going to take it. But I do know that they were predicting winds up to 200 kilometers and rainfall amounts up to 200 millimeters. So we haven't seen that much rain, and we've probably seen a maximum of 90 kilometer gusts here. So praying for everybody else, and I'm still hoping that my greenhouse is going to hold up. Saturday, and the Fiona is in her full effect here now in Burntberry. She's not really affecting us too much. We've got a lot of good coverage here. My greenhouse was here in this area right here. Wouldn't be so lucky. Got a airstrip coming that way, another airstrip coming down that way, and then there's a transmission line runs perpendicular with my greenhouse, and it's a good thing I have all this foliage, and my greenhouse is actually pushed back into the bit of foliage on the back side of my land as well, so that gives me some protection from the wind. So it's just something to think about when I go to build my next greenhouse here next year. We don't want it to be exposed to the wind too much, right? So we need to make sure before we build the next greenhouse that we have some sort of protection, whether we go and dig up some trees and we put them close to the greenhouse, and this will also give us shade in the summer as well, because we're dealing with heat issues, so shade wouldn't hurt. And if we went with something like a juniper tree, which is also known as a tamarack in the mainland, or even like a maple or something like birch that sheds its leaves, it would give us foliage and protection during the summer and shade, so it would reduce the heat getting into the greenhouse, and during the winter it would shed off their leaves, leaving us with the sunlight coming through still, right? So that's something that me and Dave are thinking about, is planting some trees not too close to the greenhouse that they would potentially fall over and cause damage, but you know, engineer it properly and put them deep enough so we know that they're not going to fall over, and far enough away that they're not going to hit the greenhouse. And then you've got natural heat protection, and you've got natural protection from the sun, which is causing people a lot of trouble with their greenhouses as of late due to the high temperatures. So yeah, the update is good. We're hanging in tight. The wind is still blowing. There's no signs of it letting up yet, but I don't see it picking up much worse than it is. And the old trucks are there breaking the wind for us. Here comes a good gust. Dave with the coffee. Now that the wind has picked up, I've increased the amount of air going into the blower to increase the elasticity on the greenhouse. So the greenhouse will just ripple now rather than shake. We noticed a little change in the wind direction. And I actually checked the weather forecast too, and it said it was going to switch to the southeast, so we're going to put the red dump truck now on the southeast side. I'm still getting a lot of southwest wind as well, so it's basically coming from every angle from the south that it can come from. So I'm not too worried about up the middle of the greenhouse. I'm just going to get that other corner blocked off now, keep this corner blocked off. I'll let it come right up the gut, hit right in the middle, that's fine. Greenhouse can take it. What don't I miss about construction? Just listen. Alright. She's deciding to send it. See what you got, baby. Come at me, brah. I don't know what I would do without that foliage. Here we go. Another gust coming. Crazy how on the most vicious of days that is still so beautiful. My grandfather had another cement truck over there kicking around. It needed to be boosted up in order to get it going, but me and Dave talked about it. We said, what the hell, why not go over and get it boosted up and bring it over and put it beside the greenhouse? I think we've seen some of the highest winds that we're going to get, and Dave anticipates we might get some more high winds, so it's better to play it safe than sorry, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to put three pieces of heavy equipment alongside the greenhouse, and that's going to block the wind completely. The wind seems to be shifting a lot more easterly now than in what it was before with the southeast. We had a pretty good gust there a second ago, but it seems to have let up now. So, of course, every time I get the camera out to show you guys what's happening with the wind, it decides it's going to take a little chill pill. So, why'd you want to be a farmer? They said. Farming is hard. Not nearly as hard as what these hands are going to be when I'm done with them. Hoo-ah! Yeah. So, right in the middle of Hurricane Fiona now. Winds are coming in strong, and here we go with our first real big problem. The problem is the type of material I used. Golden general purpose screws, no good for anything. Don't ever use them for anything you're ever building. They are garbage. 4-inch decking screws. We're replacing all these little ones that are snapped off. They're snapped off right in the wood. Totally gone. So we got a full section, a 12-foot section now that's let go. We got most of it refastened now, but we're gonna go ahead and put a couple extra ones in now as well. But don't ever use golden general purpose screws.
Okay, here we go, Mackenzie. We're trying to see the greenhouse in our hurricane winds. Then Mackenzie loses his plastic rip off roller.
biggest priority on days like today when we got heavy winds and hurricanes is to have constant monitoring of the greenhouse. That's physically walking around every 15 to 20 minutes. And when the wind picks up, you get out, you walk, you monitor. You don't ever think that the greenhouse is safe enough. You always act as if there is something wrong, so it keeps you on your toes. You're always checking areas for faults, you're looking for holes, for tears, for the wiggle wire bracket to be letting go somewhere. You're always looking. We're really getting the effects here now, so keep your fingers crossed. It's 10 to 5 now. I got the greenhouse really bubbled up here. We've had some really strong winds. We've had some troubles that we've had to overcome. We're still blown up. Dave's working inside in the greenhouse doing some stuff. I'm in the shed doing a bit of cleanup, doing a bit of maintenance on some stuff. We fired up the generator because the power went out once or twice, and we've actually found a tree that's been cracked off out in the woods, and so instead of waiting for the power to die, I went ahead and I fired up the generator, and we had a little issue with her as well. So everything that was going to go wrong is going to go wrong. So we just, you got to remain calm, and you got to deal with the problems as they come. You got a plan. My plan was set in stone before the storm came. It was to observe and monitor the greenhouse, and everything that we needed ready was ready. We had to put on a little hustle yesterday to get or the day before, to get the insulation panels on, and then we spent the day yesterday cleaning up all the debris that could have possibly flown and punctured the greenhouse. So now we're just we're trying to wait out the storm, and I have to come out tonight with a flashlight, keep an eye on the greenhouse for as long as the winds keep up. And even when they die out, I'll still have to come out every hour or so and keep an eye on it. I'm probably not going to be able to sleep tonight regardless. But, that's one thing to take into consideration when you want to be a business owner, is the risks involved and what's going to happen when stuff gets rough. And this is one of the things you got to deal with owning a greenhouse and hurricane season. (6:30) going into the evening now. We got the generator started up because of the power spikes. The power's still staying on. But we gotta keep that generator running just in case, because we had some trouble getting it started. So I got her filled up now, and she's gonna run throughout the night, whether she's plugged in or not. I got enough gas to run it for 2 days. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you got a storm on the go. It's a good idea to get your generator, get it running already. If you know that it's a good running generator, well, take it out when you think it's gonna work. But I tell you what, it's not very smart not to have it running when you need it. 8 p.m. Saturday night, storm's still hitting hard. Rain's starting to come down. A lot of rough weather. It's just not fun. I pray for all the other greenhouse operators and stuff that the greenhouses can hold fast for this night. Seems like it's not getting any better. It's actually getting worse, so it comes a big shake. Come on, Thunderdome, we got it. 11:30 now. Still getting a bit of wind. It doesn't seem as bad as it was a couple of hours ago, but the storm is still within 100 kilometers of us, so we're still getting the tail end of it. But we're just hoping that everything is done now. I got another couple of hours of staying up and monitoring and checking the greenhouse outside, but other than that, for real, it's a lot less than what it was.